Moi kaikki, that's Finnish and means hi everyone. I'm Hanna and this is my podcast called Hanna from Sheep's Alley. I'm coming to you from Kuopio, Finland. Today it's September 30th, yes, it's Sunday evening, it's 7 o'clock in the evening. I think it might be even 10 past 7. And I'm about to go and plant some Queen of Night tulips, which I will use for botanically dyed sock planks next spring. But anyway, I'm a bit busy because I want to plant those tulips before Strictly Come Dancing. I think it's called Dancing with Stars in some other countries, and in Finland it's called Tanssii tähtien kanssa, because Ali, who is starry as Ali, and she has the podcast Little Drops of Wonderful, she's organizing this Strictly Sock Along. So I want to plant those tulips and then go and knit my Strictly socks. But anyway, after this introduction, I'll show you first how I make concrete rhubarb leaves. Then I'll show you how I make rhubarb jam. And then third, I'll show you how I make needle felted pumpkins. The rhubarb section I filmed about a month ago, and the pumpkin felting section I recorded last weekend. So, I'll see you later. Okay, I'm going to show you how I make concrete rhubarb leaves. I'm using this type of dry concrete. You just add liquid, which is water, and this kind of dry concrete, and make a mixture like this. So this is the dry concrete and water, and I used just plain olive oil, and I oiled the leaf. And then I'm going to put, well, I'm not going to put this now. First I'm going to put the concrete just on top of this leaf. I have just the right amount of concrete for this rhubarb leaf. Okay, I put that there, and now this chicken wire piece will make my concrete rhubarb leaf winterproof. So I'll just put it under here. And I'll form, the shape is just about the same as the actual leaf under here. If you are living in warmer climates and your temperature doesn't go under freezing temperatures, I don't think you will need the chicken wire. This is quite messy, but fun. Okay. I think we are almost done. So of course this is the back side. So I think this is almost ready. And it has to sit like this for, well, it's really hot now. It's still plus 30 degrees Celsius. I'm doing this. This is my first autumn meets spring make-along piece because today is August 1st and the temperature is already 31 degrees Celsius, which I think is somewhere around 84, is it? Anyway, it's really hot, so I just can't let it sit like this. I need to put a piece of plastic on it so that it will dry slowly. But let me show you what I did yesterday. I'll put the plastic on after I have filmed this. I'll show you what I did yesterday. There are these two huge rhubarb leaves. Here you can see. I didn't oil these leaves. I have this plastic. Then there's the rhubarb leaf. And then another thin plastic layer. I didn't oil this because I wanted to use this plastic. And then there's this concrete and chicken wire. I'll water these and then again put them under. I'll cover them with. So you don't want to let it dry too fast. So that's why I'm watering it. Yep. And I'll show you. This one I haven't done myself. I got it as a gift. Eija made it about, I think we've had it about 12 years now. So that's one concrete rhubarb leaf. And I'll show you mine, I think sometime, well, within 6 days or 7 days. I'll turn those to the other side so you can see how they look. But that's how I do my concrete rhubarb leaves. Hi again. It's been a week now and I brushed all the rhubarb leaves off, and that is how my concrete rhubarb leaves look like. There's some close-up. So these leaves were under plastic and these were just under the leaf, so the surface is slightly different. Looks, those are the veins. I like the veins quite a lot. And those veins, those are huge because the rhubarb leaves were so big. And then I'm going to show you, this isn't our autumn meets spring make-along. A friend of ours made us this cute little bees hotel. I painted it and filled it. But see, look here. I don't know if there have already been some bees living in our bees hotel, but look at that. It looks like there has been a rock star throwing things out of the window because they are all under the bees hotel. I don't know if it has been a squirrel or a bird, but I need to do something with that. with that room. I need to redecorate. And then I'm going to show you our third. It's hubby's and mine autumn meets spring make-along piece. Actually 2 pieces. See those trolls houses? Hubby built those and then I painted and decorated those trolls houses. This brown one, that is ours, and it is going to stay at this spot. And then this trolls house complex, 3 houses, this will be, we will give it to our friends who we went to Iceland with, because all the Icelandic front yards had some sort of trolls houses in their garden. So we wanted to make our own. So that will be traveling to Arctic Circle, to Rovaniemi. And this is ours. They look so cute. Okay, my second autumn meets spring make-along project is making rhubarb jam out of these rhubarbs. I have chopped them already. This is a 3-liter kettle, but I have about maybe 2 liters of rhubarb there. Then I'm going to put the heat on, add 1 squeezed lemon, and then this is half a cup of peeled ginger, and also this is a lemon zest. I'll put that there too. And then I bought this, it's called mini jam sugar, which has a bit less sugar and more pectin. So I'll put this whole package. I think the instructions in here says that 1 kilo of berries or whatever and 1 packet of this. But that amount is enough for me. And then the most important ingredient is this black dark rum. I'll put half a cup. That may seem quite a lot, but we don't need the alcohol, we only want to have the taste. And when it starts boiling, the alcohol disappears. I'll put the lid on, and there's my jam jars. I'm boiling them. I'm going to boil them for 10 to 15 minutes to get all the unwanted bacteria out of there. So I'll continue when this rhubarb jam is boiling. I need to stir it while boiling, so I'll pause the video camera for a bit. Okay, it's time to put the heat off on both of those. These have been boiling now for 15 minutes. Yep, looking good. And I'm going to use this handy little tool. I don't know what you call this in English. In Finnish, it's sauvasekoitin. Looks like this. Yay! I already tasted it, and it's not that sweet. which I like. Yay! Wonderful taste. Very, very wonderful. You can taste the ginger and maybe the rum even. But you could use this for eating vanilla ice cream, and why not with meat or fish, because this isn't that sweet. Okay, now I need to put these into those jars and I'm done. Yeah, that's my second make along object finished, almost finished. Hi again. Today is Saturday, September 22nd. It's 5:15 in the afternoon. And I thought I'd show you how I make felted pumpkins. It all started with this cute little white pumpkin, which I received from Gina, who is Brown in It on Instagram. She made me this. We made a swap. Well, we have done several swaps, but this was in one of the earlier swaps, and I think this is one of the best handmade gifts which I have received, and I loved it so much. I thought that this can't be that difficult to make. So after that, I'll put that down. I made several pumpkins. I think I made this one first, brown one. Then I'll put that there. I made this one, tiny, smaller. Then I decided to make a different shape. Is this more like, what do you call those yellowy, orangey ones? Butternut squash. I think this is kind of reminds me of that shape, so I made that. And I made this tiny little blue or turquoisey pumpkin. And then I made this big one. I like the shape of this. And I'm going to show you, demonstrate you how I make these. I haven't done these. I think I made that small one last year, but I think these ones I made 2 years ago. So I kind of need to remind me of how I made them, and let's do this together. Or you watch and I'll make. So I have a big lump of felting wool, orange color. This is, I have had this for like, well, in my storage for like maybe 4 or 5 years. And I'll just start rolling and forming the base of the pumpkin. I think I did it this way the last time I made it. Okay, a big lump. So, not quite yet a pumpkin, but let's start punching and shaping the form. This will take some time, so what I will do, I'll keep poking with my, what do you call this, needle felting needles, this triple needle set. This is very handy. So I'll keep doing this. I'll pause the camera because you would get bored if I just sat still and did this like for 10 minutes. Well, I don't know how long it will take, but probably 5 minutes. So I'll pause and continue and get back to you in a sec. Okay, that probably took me about 10 minutes. And the base is formed. I may have slipped an F word because my triple needle is now double needle. These are the only not broken ones left. See? These are my old felted needles. All broken, tips broken. And my plan is one day, perhaps in ceramics, and because Halloween is coming, oops, my plan is to make a voodoo doll and stick these. So kind of like souvenir and funny little Halloween piece. Broken felting needles poked in a voodoo doll. But anyway, my triple needle is now double, so it's going to be a little bit slower now that I have only two needles. But anyway, this is the base. I'm not going to make it to look like this, because this is the same wool. A friend of mine, Lellu, who lives 2 stone throws away, gave me all this wool because she said that she's not going to need it for anything. She's not going to spin, she's not going to felt, so she gave it to me. And now my plan, I haven't done this before, so my plan is to cover this pumpkin with this. I think this is even silk. So cover it and then poke with my needle these, do you call these veins? So that's what I'll do next. And again, I will do this. I'll pause the camera, wrap this around. I don't think I'll need all of this, but I'll wrap it around and start poking, and then I'll show you how it looks. So again, stay tuned. This might take another 10 minutes, I think. Well, guess what? I actually used it all. I just thought I'd show you before I start poking that I just went around and around, and I'm going to make them look nice, spread them nicely, these veins. I think these are quite fun actually. So let's even those. And I'll attach that to the bottom. So this is probably the bottom and this is probably the top. And I'll continue soon. Okay, it's getting dark and it started raining. But this is what I have been doing the past 20 minutes. Fixing the bottom. Like this. I wish I had 3 needles. It will be quicker, but we'll have to do what we have. So this is the bottom. Okay, it stopped raining. And then I have been doing these, I don't know if you call these, can you see, these veins. This isn't a very ergonomical way, bending over like this. My back is not killing me, but it's a bit sore. But I really like this. This must be merino silk blend or something. Lellu gave me these wools and they had a tag, but I don't know where it is. But I think it works really well on these pumpkins. So this is what I have been doing the past 30 minutes. Okay, that's the bottom. And these are the veins. It almost looks like a pumpkin already. I'm not pleased with this part because you can see this color there, but how should I hide it? Maybe like that. Okay, I think that works. And then just slightly fix that like this. See? Much better. Yep. Yep. Oh, okay, there too. How should we fix? See? You can see the base. Perhaps just something like that. Fixed. Oh, and there too. Oh, there's enough fabric or wool. I can pull it and attach it. Oh no! Oh my goodness! That's awful. That wasn't a good idea. Well, life isn't perfect. Okay, let's pull that. And adjust. Well, I can always add this leaf or make 2 leaves and hide this spot. Oh, this part, that doesn't look nice. Let's stretch that a bit. Fixed. And of course these pumpkins, they have to have personality. Then I'm going to make the leaf or leaves. I'll probably use this. Okay, how should I make? That needs maybe, what size? It's just random. Maybe like this. And then I'll have this. I don't know, what do you call this in English? In Finnish, it's vaahtomuovi, I think. But something. You need something to start making the leaves. And then, I don't know, what do you call this? Is this a rod? Or what is it? Anyway, we need to make that one too. So, I will start forming this leaf and then get back to you I think this might... Okay, it started raining again. This might take me another 10 minutes, I think. So I'll pause the camera again and get back to you when I have the leaf ready, and then we'll attach it. So just a sec. Okay, the leaf has been done. This doesn't probably even look like a pumpkin leaf, but hey, I can take artistic freedom, right? So that took me, well, 10 minutes. Almost 10 minutes. Okay. The veins. Like that. One more. Okay. And then we are going to hide the ugly spot. That's okay, that's fine. That's a bit messy. I think we're going to hide that section. So if we put the leaf, which part should I attach? Probably, that annoys me. Okay. We'll put it if this rod, or whatever we call it. Okay, the sun came out. Weird weather, very windy. So if we put that somewhere there, then we can put this leaf there and maybe make a smaller one. There maybe. So let's start punching. Okay. I think that's fine now. Okay, looks like this. Yep. Then some brown wool. I don't need that now. Okay, I think I'll just roll this. Maybe. Any more? Okay. Just free form. I'm rolling it tightly. And then I'll start punching again. And this will probably take me about 5 minutes maybe. So I'll get back to you soon. Okay, I made another leaf, so 2 leaves there, and then this, and now we're going to attach this, whatever you call it. Let's call it a rod. I don't know if it is a correct word, but which way should I? That way maybe. So let's attach it. Okay, attached. Whoop. Oh, almost dropped that. So, 1 pumpkin finished. I like it that it is so big. This is going to be a gift to a friend of mine. We are going to visit them next month, so I'm going to give it to her. So, this is how I make felted pumpkins, and I have all the wool there, so I'll probably make a yellow one and then another white one. So go and buy felting wool, these needles, and make your own. Yeah. So now we get to talk about the knitting. And I have quite a few finished objects. And let's start with a pair of socks. These yarns which I used, they are actually leftovers of the Melanie Berg's on the spice market. I called it on the yarn market shawl. And this pattern, this is out of my head, except this little cable stripe. This, well, you could call it lace and cable repeat, is actually stage 2 of the Tour de Sock pattern, because I took part in Tour de Sock. It is for a good cause. And as I have told you many times, I'm not a sock knitter, and I never promised to knit any socks. My plan was to get at least 1 pair of socks finished before the Tour de Sock ends, and I managed to get these heavily modified. But actually I think these are super fun socks. And if you know how to make socks, you know how to make these kind of socks. You only need to know the skills how to make a toe, heel, and some sort of cuff. And what I did, I knit my socks toe up 2 at a time. So I first cast on this toe, and by the time I reached this section I had 30 plus 30. See, I magic looped. So I had 30 plus 30 stitches on my needles. I took some leftover yarns from that shawl. This, well actually yes, I had so little left of this green yarn that when I finished knitting these 2 socks, I had nothing left. And what I did, there is, as you can see, 2 rows of that green color. Then I knit 1 row of that grey in stockinette, and then 2 rows reverse stockinette, and then again 2 rows of that green, then the same 3 rows, 1 row stockinette and 2 rows the reverse stockinette, and then 2 rows of green again. And then I switched to pink. And what you can do is, if you have those stitch bibles or those resource books, find a pattern which you like. And well, I here had 30 stitches, so how many stitches, whatever stitch count you have, find a pattern which you can match to your stitch count and make 1 repeat or 2 repeats. You can make this as long as you want. And then again, back to the gray yarn, I knit 2 rows of that gray. Then I did 1 row of stockinette with this green, and then 3 rows reverse stockinette. And then I had, I'll have to count 2 rows gray here and 3 rows of gray there. And then I had 1 row of that reverse stockinette after the 1 row of a plain stockinette stitch. Then I continued knitting. You could call this like the base color. And I added some extra stitches somewhere around here. So when you knit these kind of socks, just try them on as you go, because you want to make them custom to your own foot. So if you need to make increases, make them somewhere where you need them to be. And then knit whatever kind of heel you want. I made this. I think I like this heel the best. I haven't done that many different kinds of heels, but I really like this garter stitch heel. And then here, I don't know if you can see it well, after I made this heel, I made a little wedge with short rows. I just wanted to get this flap to rise a bit higher. And after that, I made 2 stripes of that stockinette stitch, and then 2 rows of reverse stockinette stitch. And finally there, I think I knit, I even have to check, I think I just knit 1 row, and then I just bound off using that stretchy, just basic, I don't even know the name of the stretchy bind off which I did, but just a basic stretchy bind off. So that's the recipe. Use your leftovers and knit a pair of shorty socks. Use bright colors or muted colors or tonal colors or whatever. But you can make your own. And these, I really like them. Then I have the shawl on the, I called it on the yarn market because I cast it on during Jyväskylän Knit Fest. But this is actually caught on the, okay, there's the sun. It rained the whole day and now the sun came out, so it's doing its funny things with the colors. But anyway, this is finished on the Spice Market by Melanie Berg. Fun, really colorful and fun looking shawl. I'll show you, I think I showed it the last time, the pattern, but we are talking about this Melanie Berg's on the Spice Market. And I forgot to show you the sock stage 2 socks. So this is actually what the stage 2 pattern was supposed to look like, but mine are slightly different. Then I did a quick knit along shawl with a knitter friend Anu. She lives here in Kuopio. It's Veera Välimäki's pattern, and she was knitting this Stay Soft shawl, or was she planning on knitting one? And I said that, I'm planning on knitting one too, and that I'll probably have correct yarns which I want to use for this pattern. So we did a little knit along. I finished mine quite quickly. I'm not sure if Anu has finished hers yet, but I'll show you the finished piece first, and then I'll show you the yarns, or the yarn tags and labels. Okay, which is that's the wrong side. This is the right side. I wish the sun went back behind the clouds, but you can see it. Purples and brown. I don't know what has gotten into me, but I seem to be liking brown, but it has to be dark and cool shade, not warm shade. I like cool and cold shades. Okay, this is Hedgehog, the purple one. There's the cast on edge there. No. That's the cast on side. So this purple yarn was Hedgehog Fibers Skinny Singles. If I remember correct, it was the Raven colorway. Yes, it was. There, I'll show you the other side of the yarn label. I really like knitting with single ply yarns. They are so soft and lovely. Very lovely to knit. Then I did some striping. You can't really see because the colors which I had, the colors which I had were so similar that there is actually striping, but then I returned back to the Skinny Singles, Hedgehog Fiber Skinny Singles yarns. And this is the yarn which I did the striping. You can't really see, I don't think you can see it really well. It's Primrose Yarn Company's Skinny Singles, or was it? No, this is not called, it's called Adelaide, I think. Does it say here? Yeah, Adelaide. Morticia is the colorway. Morticia. I also love Primrose Yarn Company's colors. They are so rich. And then the border, the chocolatey brown border, is this Colori Naturali. How should I show it? From Italy. These are naturally dyed yarns. I think this was called Burnt Brown. So this kind of wonderful dark chocolatey brown color. This is very soft and lovely too. So those were my two shawls. Then I have a huge finished project. It's Levi's blanket. I got this finished about a month ago, I think. But before I got it finished, one day Levi came to me and said that, okay, I'm not going to ask you which year you are going to finish it. I'm going to ask during which century are you going to get it done. So I made it. I said, okay, you'll have it in 2 weeks, and I did. And this is huge and heavy because the yarn is 100% cotton yarn. It's Schachtenmeyer's Catania Grande. Yeah, Catania Grande, which is heavy cotton yarn. I think it might be even DK weight, but this turned out so lovely, and Levi likes the colors. Well, he chose the colors and he also chose the pattern, so he is very pleased because he got it finished during this century. Then I did some hand spinning. I think it was Palmikko Puu who posted a finished cardigan out of her handspun yarn. And I thought that it's kind of silly that I have lots of spinning wool in my stash, and I have a spinning wheel. Should I show? I wasn't going to show it, but I'll show you what kind of spinning wheel I have. It's very easy to spin with it. It's this. It's Ashford Kiwi 2, and I painted it myself. Very fun to spin with. So this is my spinning wheel. And I think I was saying that it's so silly that I really should spin some lovely yarn. But then I thought that, okay, I haven't done spinning in 2 years, and I don't want to spin fingering weight yarn because it would take me ages. So I actually spun, I wrote it down. I have a project page on Ravelry, and I will put all the links in my group Hanna from Sheep's Alley on Ravelry. Where do I have it? I had 2 Nunoko. I think Nunoko has stopped dyeing spinning yarns and fibers, I think. But anyway, I had 2 Nunoko spinning wool, 1 Felt Studio UK. I think I received that. Oh, one of our boys came home. Felted Studio UK. I got that from someone in the UK in a swap like 2 years ago. And then I had Spun Sugar yarns. That one I also got in a swap package. I think it might have been last Christmas or the Christmas before that. And I think that came from the US. And then I had a little bit of unknown spinning wool. So I spun those. I wanted to make worsted weight or bulky weight yarn. I first spun and then 2-plied, and I really got like super bulky yarn. And I first thought that, okay, I'm going to make a sleeveless cardigan or a vest. And I started knitting top down with a raglan type increases. But I soon realized that, oh no, I have way too little yarn, I can't knit a vest. So I unraveled that and thought that, okay, I'm going to make a scarf. And I started knitting a scarf and realized that, oh no, I really don't, because I didn't realize the amount of yarn which I had, that how much I can knit until it runs out. I just didn't understand that. So when I started knitting the scarf, I soon realized that no, I'm not going to get a scarf. And then I thought that, well, why not make a cowl? So I knit a cowl, and it looks like this. This is really heavy, super bulky weight yarn. And I just started knitting. There's the seam. I started knitting. Yeah, I cast on certain amount of stitches. I had 15mm needles, so they were very big needles. And I knit, I think I had 3 stitches. On every single row, I knit 3 stitches at the beginning and at the end of the row, and then I knit stockinette in the middle. And when one yarn ended, I just added a new yarn and knit as much as I had left, and then I just sewed the seam. And this is my heavy. It feels airy, but it weighs quite a lot. But I think this will be perfect when the temperature goes to below 10, -10 Celsius. So like freezing, really freezing. And you could actually use this as a sort of a hat scarf if you are not wearing a hat. anyway, I actually spun yarn and made something out of it. Ha! I'm happy. Then what else did I make? Yes, converging lines. See, about 3 weeks ago, we were at Kässäkerho Pom Pom in a knitting meeting, and I think it was Leena who showed me a picture from her Pinterest board of this Pearl Soho free pattern converging lines, and I thought that looked really, really lovely because I like these type of cows, and I think I have even wrote on Ravelry that I'm a poncho lover, which I am. I love wearing all kinds of cows and cowlets and ponchos and those sort of capes and so on. And Leena showed me this picture, and when I came home, I went straight to my yarn stash, and well, this yarn calls for sport weight yarn, but I didn't have sport weight yarn, so I thought that okay, using 2 lace weight yarns would work wonderful, but I didn't have lace weight yarn. So what I did, I took 2 fingering weight yarns, and this pattern calls for 3.75 millimeter needles, and I used size 4 millimeter. So I would have slightly thicker yarn, slightly bigger needles, and because this looks like more like a cowl, and because I wanted to have a poncho type thing, I thought that okay, thicker yarn and bigger needles would do that. So I cast on as many stitches as the pattern called for. Should I put this on? I'm going to really be hot because I already have this on. But anyway, I put there. Better to explain, or easier to explain. So I did what the pattern said. I cast on as many stitches as you were supposed to cast on. And then you are supposed to knit 2 by 2 ribbing, basic ribbing all the way up there. But what I did, I knit 1 row 2 by 2 ribbing, and then every other row I knit 2 from the back loop, purl 2, knit 2 from the back loop. So you can see this slight, can you see, zigzaggy stitch. So that's what I made all the way up. And when you, well, first you knit this flat, and then you start knitting in the round. And when you start, see, I can explain this because that's a free pattern. So when you started knitting in the round, you decrease by knitting at the end of each round, you knit 2 together. And I did that to this point. And then because I wanted to have the shape, because I didn't want to have this type of shape without no big, how can I explain? I wanted to lay on my shoulders nicer, and therefore I started knitting or decreasing by knitting 3 stitches, knit 3 stitches together. So instead of getting rid of 1 stitch per row, I started getting rid of 2 stitches per row, well actually per round. And I did that all the way to this part. Then I didn't do any decreases, increases, nothing like that. I switched to 2 millimeter needles, and I knit 8 rounds. So you can see 8 rounds with those 2 millimeter needles. Then I switched back to 4 millimeter needles and started knitting not in the round, but just back and forth, doing the same ribbing which I had done all the way. And then I just cast off, and this is how it looks like. And I think this is so cool. I love it how it fits, because you have these flaps here. I wanted to have the same up there too. Now I'll have to take this off and I'll show you the yarn labels, the yarns which I used. So, Shelly, who is, I think she's on Ravelry and Instagram, Kiki Lucy, if I remember correct. She sent me a swap package, and in it I had 2 skeins of this koigu yarn, KBBM. So I started knitting by using 1 thread of this one, and then I had 2 full skeins. These were 50 grams, yes, and I had 2, so I actually had 100 grams together of that yarn. And then Lottie Knits sock yarn, these 2, and now I don't remember which one I used first and which one second, but I started knitting with the koigu and Lottie Knits yarns there. Somewhere here the first koigu yarn ended, and I took the other yarn skein. Then I ran out of the koigu. I still had some Lottie Knits left, and I don't have the yarn band. I don't know where it is. Probably I just threw it away. I wasn't meant to, but I did. This red yarn is from Austria. I think the yarn dyer, I bought her yarn from Etsy, and I think her yarn name is, was it Fadenbund or something like that. Anyway, I had a skein of her yarn, so I continued with Fadenbund and Lottie Knits. Then I ran out of Lottie Knits, the 1 skein which I had. I continued with double thread of that Fadenbund, and then I added the other Lottie Knits and knit this part. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows approx with that red and then Lottie Knits. I continued with double thread with the Lottie Knits, and then I wanted to add more grey. So what I did is I had Sirpa, who is Rouva Silmusolmu. She had sent me, I ordered some yarn from her, and she sent me 20 grams of this Merino Sukkis mini skein. Color is harmaja, meaning grey. So I had Lottie Knits and Rouva Silmusolmu there, and here I was running out of Lottie Knits. So I had, I think I had half a skein or maybe more of this Lustig merino sock yarn. This yarn is called, colorway is called September, and that's her label. And when Rouva Silmusolmu, I ran out of Rouva Silmusolmu there, I knit the rest with Lustig yarn. And this is what I got. I love this kind of look. I might even knit another one. Maybe. See, I bought 2 advent calendar packages from Etsy. They will arrive maybe November, during November time. So maybe I could knit something like this and use my advent calendar minis. But of course I need to see the colors and if I could. As you can tell, I kind of faded these 2 yarns. So I'd really like to do that fading thing again. Need to think of that. Then I have I'll show you the needle felted pumpkins, which you already saw me how to make them. I made this, you saw this, but I wanted to make it still lightly better because this kind of looked a bit messy due to the fact of these whites and different shades of orange. I wanted to add the brown veins. Do you call these veins? And I also made this slightly nicer. So this is the size of my head, so this is quite big. So I made that. Then I made also, I already gave it away, I made yellow butternut squash pumpkin. It was about the same size as the orange one, but of course different shape. And I already gave it to Lellu, the one who gave me all her wool, so I wanted to give her one. And then I made this huge white pumpkin. Somebody asked on Instagram if these are stiff or soft. And I kind of replied that, well, they are semi-stiff, because these are kind of, they are not hard, stiff, but they are not too soft. So they are semi-stiff, semi-soft. These two will be gifts to a friend of mine. And also I made, can you see? Yes, you can. Those two bigger white pumpkins, those are for me, and there's Gina's pumpkin, which she made me as a gift several years ago, and that pumpkin made me two more pumpkins. And those were all the finished objects. I have 3 webs, but I don't think I'm going to show them to you because there's really not much to show. I'm knitting these strictly socks. I have only done about this much. Then I'm knitting Hohi Locatelli's Madewell. I have knit this section, nothing to see, no pattern, nothing yet. And then I'm knitting the Hanami shawl. I think I showed the pattern last time. I'm still doing the main section, the body section, but I think I will show it to you next time when that will be finished. So no whips now. But the main thing, autumn meets spring make along. We had the thread on Ravelry, and if you're interested, if you are not on Ravelry, or if you are on Ravelry, if you want to see how wonderful different kinds of finished objects lovely knitters and crafters have made and posted, you can find them there. But I'm really happy. There were lots of participants and tons of finished objects, and now it's time to see who wins what. So the first prize, well, there are 4 prizes equally good, they're just different. So Gillian, who lives in Bergen, Norway, gave these yarns to give as prizes. She donated these 3 yarn skeins for the prize draw. And this is Polar Nights, this colorway. This is her yarn base is Trollfjord sock. So this is Polar Nights. This is Hidden Jewels. And this one, lovely Gillian created, thinking of me, Creative Hanna, or Hanna. You can call me Hanna or Hanna. In Finnish, I'm called Hanna. But Hanna or Hanna, either one is fine. So this is the first. And I have all the lottery tickets inside this Tupperware thing. See, there are all the lottery tickets. And let's see who wins those 3. Okay. Hillary. Does it focus? Yes. You won these. I'll put those aside. And now, because some people made like 2 or 3 projects, they got 3 lottery tickets. I think Hillary made, if I remember correct, was it 9 or 11? So she has that many lottery tickets. So if I get Hillary again, I will draw again, because I don't want one person to get all the 4 prizes. I want 4 people to get 1 prize. So let's see. Oh, I better show what I'm going to give away. So second, these mini skeins are also from Gillian. All these prizes, you can find them on Ravelry, in the thread on Ravelry, in the Make Along thread, the first post. So these wonderful mini skeins, they are all how much is there? Yes, 20-gram mini skeins, 5 of them. So now let's see who wins these. Emma! Emma won these mini skeins. Emma also made lots of projects. I think even maybe as much as Hillary, maybe, but many still. And then, I'll put that there. And then is this Simpukat shawl with eye net out of Malabrico worsted yarn. And if the person who gets this, if you don't like it, you can always over dye it and make it your color. So let's see who wins that. Kay! Okay, if I remember correct, Kay lives in Canada, and did she make 4 or 3 projects? But this is for Kay. And then the last one is this ceramic autumnal looking mug, which I made last year at the ceramics class here at Kuopio Folk College. And then 4 stitch markers, also made by me. These type. And let's see who wins those. Ah, it was Emma again. Sorry, have to draw again. Wendy! Okay, Wendy won this and those stitch markers. Yay! Congratulations! That was really a fun make-along. Thank you for taking part in that, and maybe we could do that again, maybe next year, during winter time or Christmas time or whatever. Yay! Then we have the giveaway. So the giveaway was either one of these 2 paintings. I will draw the winner, and the person who is the lucky one can decide which one they want. And I will keep the other one and frame it and put it up there somewhere. So let's see. You know the drill. Ninna lives in Pietarsaari. She also took part in our make-along, so wonderful that Ninna, you won now, because you didn't win during the make-along. So you can say which one you want, and I will mail it to you. Today is Monday, October 1st. I will be very busy this evening because I have the swim technique class at the local swimming center. So hopefully I'll be able to upload this episode on YouTube on Tuesday. And I will contact to all the winners and ask for their addresses so that I can mail their make-along prizes and this giveaway prize. And finally, the new giveaway. I have a new giveaway. I'll show you first what I did. You know, okay, Christmas is coming, believe it or not. It's not even Halloween, but Christmas is coming. I'm planning on podcasting at the end of November, so very close to Christmas. Well, some people celebrate Christmas, some people don't. In Finland, almost every native Finn celebrates Christmas in some ways. We are not very religious, we don't even belong to the church. But anyway, during Christmas time, you can watch these Christmas movies, and usually you can see somebody is wearing, at least one person is wearing this tacky looking pullover, Christmas pullover. So the giveaway isn't a pullover, tacky pullover. But now picture the tacky pullover in your mind. I made 2 bracelets. One for me, I'll show that first. And then the other one is the giveaway. There is a little bear, a red apple, and it says joulu, which is Finnish and means Christmas. So I made a tacky bracelet, except that I don't think this is as tacky as some of those pullovers. But I made another one, and this is the, how should I show it? The giveaway. Oh, well, the first part of the giveaway. So it says joulu, and it also has that red apple, because red apples remind me of Christmas, of joulu. And there's a little bird, and this also has magnetic lock. So, and if you don't like to wear this, why not decorate your Christmas tree trunk with this? Just wrap it around the tree trunk, and the tree trunk has its own necklace. And if you think this is way too tacky, there's also another prize with those. I made Christmas bauble stitch markers, these kind. So the giveaway for next episode is that tacky joulu Christmas bracelet and these Christmas baubles stitch markers. And my question is, what is your favorite December tradition? And if you don't celebrate Christmas, you can celebrate something else, or if you just have other wintry traditions which you do during December time. So what is your favorite December time tradition? Ours is, see, Finnish Independence Day is December 6th. And I think usually Finnish people, when they bring the Christmas tree in, it's about like maybe 2 days before Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is the bigger thing for Finns than Christmas Day, because on Christmas Eve the Santa Claus comes. And usually some people, or mainly almost all other Finns, we are a little bit different. I don't know why, but we are. Other people bring their Christmas trees in maybe on the 22nd, 21st of December. But we bring our Christmas tree in on Independence Day, which is December 6th. So that's my tradition, or our family's tradition. So answer that question on Ravelry in the episode thread, which I will put on Hanna from Sheep's Alley podcast group, and you might win these baubles or this semi-tacky bracelet for you or for your Christmas tree. And that's it. I'll see you at the end of November. Moikka!